Alright, let's go over Onward's biggest update yet with update 2.0. First off, before going over the update, I was given preview access by both Meta and Downpour Interactive to make this video, not sponsored at all. Update 2.0 marks a new chapter for Onward since being teased all the way back in October 9th, 2024 in a dev blog, which felt like forever, but this is the first update that hasn't left me disappointed. But at its core, it's still Onward that we're talking about. Onward, the game itself, identity throughout the years has changed a ton, as with ownership and player base for better or worse. With the PCVR Steam version getting downgraded, Meta buying up the studio, Sweet Baby Ray Guy alluding to a sequel, then the CEO's departure, and the continuation of Andrew Bosworth's horrible decision making, this update makes me hopeful for the game's future, even though it's filled with exploiters, cheaters, kill trades, and spawn camping in the 1500 hours or so that I play the game, which in the dev's blog post also includes small quality of life changes like safe spawning, crossplay enable/disable option, overhauling menu icons, loading screens, and the larger improvements include new weapons to MARSOC and Volk classes, and redesigned weapons with much better textures and improved weapon models all around, new scopes and weapon functionality to shotguns, and much more, which in hand also improves the sound design while shooting. It's much punchier and realistic. On a related note, the bullets actually look like bullets, not like Crayolas. Hunt reinforcements, utility redesigns, weapon bullet drop, and scope zeroing improvements. Next up, with another huge improvement that for the first time ever, you can choose your character model in the menu to customize both MARSOC and Volk Operators. A new game mode, which I haven't tried because I got no one to play with during preview access. A new map called Overgrowth that features both a day and night version. The map Tanker, which is on the bow, gets a daylight option, and best of all, Downfall becomes fun and it's completely overhauled. That's just a quick overview. Now let's touch on each major update that I think is worth noting. Starting off with new character models to both MARSOC and Volk, since it's the first thing you see on your left when booting up the game, all included in the home menu. Starting off with MARSOC, each operator has their own bio, country of origin, and birth. The new design for characters in the game is miles better than the previous version, at least to me. MARSOC has 7 male operators you can choose from and 3 women operators. Having the bio on the left side, it leans heavily on Onward's identity in the shooter space as a milsim. None of them have unique abilities per se, it's more cosmetic than anything. On Volk, it's more of the same, but the operators are more dripped out, nonchalant, and some of them are aura maxing. I'm much more of a fan of the Volk design. It varies quite a bit between factions. I'm more interested in the online aspect and how people will use them, as if you hopped into any public lobby, it's quite the thrill with all types of unhinged. You also have personalization with armbands, and best of all, eyewear customization with different colors on both MARSOC and Volk. I will say one thing, there's a reason why most operators in the game have a mask or cover, as getting too close becomes nightmare fuel. In game, it still has the same ragdoll while committing Sudoku, and body movements looking at the trailers don't utilize full inverse kinematics like you see in other games like Pavlov or Contractors. Helmet selection is also more detailed than before when picking what side you want to be on. As of right now, you can only choose your model in the menu and not in match. Next up is weapon selection, and I gotta say they absolutely cook with this portion of the update. This is the old weapon model, and on the right is the same model AK5C along with the remastered version of Downfall. AK5C is probably my most used gun in MARSOC. Huge difference, and every weapon model gets a visual overhaul and higher fidelity models for those already in the game, as with weapons newly added. Whether you're playing assault, specialist, support, or marksman, the detail on the weapon weapons is much more refined and reflects that of the real world. On the other side, on Volk, it's the same thing, and using each weapon compared to before the update, it more or so has a unique identity to it that tackles not only visuals but recoil, handling, and sound. My biggest gripe, apart from a couple of weapons, was that once you clock in 1500 hours or so, they all sort of feel the same and weapon selection just comes down to preference. But in using the weapons in update 2.0, with all the time I've had, they all feel better suited for different encounters. Whether it's close quarter combat, medium range gunfights, or long range, there is more variety on the table than before at which you can freely choose from. Directly from the dev blog, this is the list of newly added weapons. I'll showcase a few of them in this video. Some weapon models were also directly replaced with others. The improvement isn't exclusive to guns only, as attachments, optics, and faction utilities also got a revamp. I tried a few of the optics, and depending on the class, my favorite addition has to be this one. It's a 4x and 1x hybrid scope. This is a quick showcase of the guns and how they sound. Big difference, much better too. Another big part of the update is the addition of the MR37 Revolver. On the blog post, they've included this story why it took them so long, like deadass 4 years, but to make up for it, it not only supports a reflex sight, but on rifleman and marksman classes, it supports a 4x and 1x hybrid sight. It's alright, takes a bit of getting used to. Sort of a missed opportunity is that you can play Russian roulette, or one in the chamber. It automatically reloads to the available bullet. It sounds pretty good as well. Following that, let's move over and talk about the new map. Update 2.0 brings a new map called Overgrowth with both a day and night option to choose from. Downpour mainly describes it as a close quarter combat map that will be available for uplink and co-op and social game modes. Traversing the map in-game, it's quite small for an Onward map. Wonder how it'll flow in online multiplayer, as it features a large open main area with lush green foliage and rock formations, and on the outskirts a tunnel system, which is quite compact. I'm sure lots of kill trades will happen for sure. It's a feature at this point for Onward. Visually, it isn't bad, but I was expecting a bit more since they refer to adding this map in for the new level of graphics quality with Downfall Remastered. Trying it out, don't love it immediately, lots of chokeholds, but the night version of Overgrowth, be warned if you're sensitive to light flashes, has a weather effect that is sort of out there. Similarly, Tanker, which exclusively only had a night map, also got a daylight version too. Now, a map I played a ton of and voted for exclusively this week to get B-roll footage, sorry for those that hate this map, is Downfall Remastered. Now, I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Loading in for the first time, it's a completely different map and way more immersive than before. The map itself and the building's interior look lived in, and Downpour also added elements like random flyovers of boat jets and helicopters. Other maps also get environment enhancements as well, so they feel more dynamic. Coming into this, I knew the update changed a large part of the map, but in-game the difference is stark. Following the update in public lobbies, this should be the new fan favorite and is my personal favorite as well. Bazaar and Downfall Remastered is very closely tied. Now I'll showcase the before and after of certain areas of the map's layout. I will say performance does tank a bit depending on your view distance, especially with recording. Still has tons of very low level of detail to textures and objects, but in addition, lots of added detail to environments. Buildings should be easier to call out, added ambient sound effects, completely unrelated. I once had a guy tell me there's an enemy by the sand over there, no joke. Completely redone building interiors, and now you can climb ladders to access the roof of buildings. The pathways for the 3 roads also changed quite a bit along with the terrain. There's more cover to choose from. The outskirts of the edge of the map also got reduced in some areas as well. Palm trees get the addition of shadows via shaders, and Downfall has depth to it. It no longer looks like a singular hue of dread. It's way easier visually on your eyeballs. Apart from visuals, spawn points and objective locations have also changed, and an addition of ladders have also been added, like I previously said. In the night version of Downfall, it's way better. Downfall Night was probably the map I hated to play the most and where most lobbies died out. Now, at least on standalone, it looks much better. If you happen to spawn in without night vision, lighting feels much more natural and balanced, but it still looks like a Quest version of a game. One thing I would love to see, especially with Downfall Remastered, is shaders in hand working with weapons. In my opinion, they look way too dark compared to other versions of maps. Certain guns like the AK-5C look way too dark. Even as the map is in broad daylight, I would like to see some refinement there. Overall, Update 2.0 is such a major update to Onward. I probably missed a few things, don't want to drag the video out more. If I did, let me know down below in the comment section. I'm certain I did. Leave a like or dislike, subscribe for similar VR content and ramblings from me. Until the next video, see ya.